Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about a new pattern that I'm going to be trying out. Ooh, you can see the yarn in the corner. And kind of talk more specifically about a comment I had received and kind of brought up some points that maybe I had not gone over before that I would do. So before I start all that, I wanted to say that yesterday was my 6-month anniversary on YouTube, and in 6 months I have blown my mind at how fast things and fun things are going. I got 1,800 subscribers. I've got like 30 some videos, and I'm just having the time of my life, meeting friends across the country and the world, talking about crochet, getting great pattern ideas, and then really feeling like I'm not just crocheting to have fun anymore, or not just crocheting for my family anymore, but also trying new patterns to share with other folks. And then see what they're making, and then trying those patterns. It's really been a lot of fun. Overall, 99.9% having a blast on YouTube. Which leads me to that one tiny percent that had made me feel like I need to go over some stuff. So, I have talked about certain products that I've used in the past in regards to crocheting and knitting. Knitting needles, crochet hooks, different yarn products I use, different pattern books I've looked at, different websites, different vlogs, and yarn winders. Anything that I say in regards to these products are all based on my opinion after using those items. I'm not saying that any of my information is all factual. It's just my opinion on how I feel while using the items. And then I thought maybe I should also verify where my standard is, if you will. So for example, if I'm going to use a product for crochet or knitting, I would like it to be baseline functional. So for example, if I'm going to buy some knitting needles, I want to be able to take them out of the package and knit. I don't want to have to soak my knitting needle circulars in hot water, boil them, put them under towels and iron them. I don't want to do that. Now other folks, I think it's perfectly acceptable if you don't mind doing that, or you like doing that, or you want to do that kind of stuff. Great, I am not judging you, but I'm just saying I don't want to do that. When it comes to crochet hooks, I bought some off of a Chinese website once, and the handles were all slippery and they were coming off. And I read people were like wrapping them in toilet paper, paper towels, putting glue in them, doing all. Again, I don't want to do that. I just want to buy a crochet hook, take it out of the package and crochet with it and not have to do that stuff. So that is where I come from. Now a lot of 2 or 3 folks, which I know seems minimal, did not like my review or how I spoke on the Yarnology yarn winder. And I didn't really think it was a problem, the yarn winder, really, when I first got it. I thought it was my user error. Because whenever I wound a larger skein, the little arm that was on the side would get caught in the cake when it got bigger. So I just thought, well, I must not be able to wind really large skeins of yarn, that I must stick to the little ones, or the remnants, if you will. And I was fine with that until I got the Stanwood. When I got the Stanwood yarn winder, everything about that yarn winder was so wonderful that the other one just looked like And so I was just saying, in general, if you have the extra 20 bucks, go for the Stanwood. You're going to be really happy, rather than with the yarn winder. Because again, I don't want to hook it in a certain way, or hold my yarn this way, or turn it that way, or clamp it that way, or hold my yarn that way, blah, blah, blah. I just want to hook it on the table, put my yarn through it, wrap it up, and be done. And that's what I can do with the Stanwood. So I'm sorry if other folks felt like I was lying, or if I was misrepresenting certain products, or just being, you know, horrible. And that really wasn't my intent. My intent is to share my opinion based on my experiences with certain products. And there may be some that I really love, and there may be some that I really don't. And I'm just telling you all that's how it is. So I feel like that's really what you'll get when I talk to you guys about crochet hooks, knitting needles, yarn counters, or stitch counters, stitch markers, yarn winders, any of those products that I use that assist me in my crochet and knitting. And if I talk about it, is based on my opinion on how it worked for me. Now maybe in the case of the yarn winder, maybe I got a defective one. Maybe the one I bought, the arm wasn't functioning the way they all usually do. And you know, heck, I didn't know. I was just saying the one I got didn't really work that well. So I just wanted to clear that up. I am not trying to be an evil, vicious person. I'm just really just chatting about what I'm doing. Like, hey, when I'm crocheting and knitting, I really love this thing, or this one didn't work for me. And I'm just trying to be honest about my opinions. So I feel like that is enough of that busyness and unhappy hogwash. So that's it. Six minutes on that. But the more important fun stuff is I had a really great time with my son at camp. This is my first video after being back at camp. It was really cold at night. There was a lot of bugs. I was very dirty. We had to use like these outhouse type bathrooms, so our campsite smelled like poo. But the positives was I got to be with my son all day. I got to watch him try some really adventurous outdoor stuff like shooting BB guns and bows and arrows and whittling and leather working and swimming in a lake. Oof. And, you know, having fun with buddies, and then also learning a lot about, I don't know if any of you know a lot about the scouting law, but, you know, it's a program that teaches young boys, and now, not to get controversial in America, young women can join and learn about being honest, true, trustworthy, kind, loyal, caring, as part of the 12 Scout laws. So it was really great. I really enjoyed watching them have a good time with buds. And then the Eagle Scouts would take them away for about 2 hours, 2 different times a day. And during that time, I got to crochet by the fire. And this is going to blow your mind, folks. So while I'm at the fire crocheting, one of the Webelow 2s, which is the second group of Webelows, hence being Webelow 2s, came up to me. He's like, hey, what kind of yarn are you using? And I was kind of being a, you know, kind of like a craphead about it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm using an acrylic yarn. It's Mandala Cakes. He's like, oh, I usually use Red Heart with Love. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, my grandma taught me how to crochet. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, yeah, it's a DK. Just like, yeah, I use worsted weight. Oh my God, it's a 10-year-old Boy Scout, and I started talking about crochet, about double crochets and half double crochet. It's his favorite stitch. He's like, yeah, you just yarn over and pull through all 3. It was so adorable. So now he's my new favorite Boy Scout, maybe even a little bit more than my own personal Boy Scout. And it was just adorable. Completely unexpected that I would be crocheting at Boy Scout camp chatting with a 10-year-old about his favorite stitches and his favorite kind of yarn and what size hook he likes to use. So I'm very happy though to be back with electricity and all the things that come with being in modern civilization. Not having to smell poo most of the day and being indoors, not cold, and bugs and all that stuff. So the final thing that I'm going to talk about in this video, aside from all that busyness and Boy Scout camp, this is my girl Maddie, is I am going to try a new amigurumi pattern. What I do, if you all can see this, is when it's a free pattern, and if it's on a website that has a lot of advertisements and all that stuff in the middle, I start copying and pasting it into a Word document. I use it on, I understand the reasoning for all those advertisements and whatnot, but it does use up a lot of the printer ink, so I just highlight, right-click, copy, then open up a text document and paste into the document. So that's what the pattern looks like, minus all the, you know, the business of having a blog or a website. But I had forgotten to put down what it was, so I had to go look it up. You can get it on Ravelry for free, and it's called Small Cat. So it's a very easy pattern. It is a small cat. And it's written by Mari-Liis Lille. Mari is M-A-R-I, and then it's hyphened to L-I-I-S. And the last name is Lille, L-I-L-L-E. I'll put a link in the description to the Ravelry pattern. It is a free pattern, and it basically is just little cats. The reason I'm making them is, one, I wanted to try a new amigurumi pattern, and two, the Christ Child Society that I donate to, they take little toys, and I last time gave them a bunch of octopus, or octopi?
Yeah.
Octopi, and now I want to give them cats. So I'm going to use this pattern, actually, rather than worsted weight, calls for a DK weight. So I'm going to use the One Lone Cake of Mandala Baby that I got. That is not Mermaid Cove. It's more of a rainbow. This costs $2. I'm going to see how many cats I can make out of this beautiful yarn. Maddie was with me at the store when I bought that. Actually, this was in the video where I was trying to find out how much yarn or how much Walmart was charging for their mandala cakes. This was the only one that rang up for $2. Everything else was $4.97. So I think that's that. Maybe we'll see in the next video or the video after that. I can share with you a bunch of baby cats, little kittens. And until then, happy crafting. Bye.